It was an emotional weekend, to say the least, for the Wisconsin hockey family with the passing of legendary coach Jeff Sauer. His kindness and friendship, his generosity and leadership will live with us forever. A lot of us last weekend struggled through this, obviously, as did the coaches on the Badgers benches. Tony Granato and Don Granato and Mark Osiki all played for Jeff Sauer, but they found a way to get through it, and the Wisconsin Badgers went to East Lansing and swept the Michigan State Spartans. Now they're back at the Kohl Center to take on Penn State, and Tony Granato will join us here in just a moment. I'm Brian Posick, the radio voice of Wisconsin hockey, and this is the Badger Hockey Digest.
This is what collaboration looks like. This is what happens when a cardiologist in Appleton works step in step with specialists at UW Health in Madison. You see, when Terry's condition required a second opinion, his doctor turned to the cardiothoracic team at UW Health. Together, we made sure Terry got the care and the heart transplant he needed. Powerful minds, compassionate care, amazing results. UW Health, remarkable.
Joined by Badgers head coach Tony Granato. And Tony, it was certainly difficult this past weekend for you and Don and Mark Osiki. And I know you had told me prior to the game on Friday, and actually after the game Friday, that it was tough to focus on the game at hand. But I tell you, your boys certainly focused on the game at hand. On Friday, came out and scored 3 goals in the first period and took control of that game and beat Michigan State 6-3. And really, I don't know if the score was really indicative of how well you played, especially at the start.
No, I agree, and you're right. Just, I guess, talking to friends and family members and alumni and media and dealing, and everyone deals with a loss like that in different ways. I think most of our attention was focused on that and really not the game. So the good thing is, from our players' perspective, they're mature enough now to recognize the fact that they don't need us all the time, and they got themselves ready to play the game. So we probably did, take some shortcuts preparing for the game on Friday. But where we're at in the season and where our teams come with the leadership from within, and that's kind of what you want as a coach anyway. So I was really proud of the guys. I think they knew how hard it was on us, on what we were dealing with, and they went out and got the job done. And it was a good weekend for us. It really was, and you hate to say this one was for Coach Sauer, because I don't think that's right. But to be able to win and move on and not have to think, okay, what did we do wrong in the series? In a way, we could put that behind us now and get ready for the next series. And it's going to be a big weekend this weekend with Coach Sauer as well, because now we're back at the Kohl Center with so many other people that are going to experience the memories and everything that he's brought to our program. So we'll go through it again this weekend.
Yeah. As far as Friday's game, Trent Frederick, fantastic freshman, a couple of goals and an assist, and then he had a goal and another 3-point game on Saturday. He's certainly performing for you, the highest scoring freshman in the country right now, points per game, and he just brings something to the table up the middle, most important position, many say, in hockey besides the goaltender, and he's done a really nice job for you.
He has, and if you look at the score sheet at the end of the game, you see all that. If you're on the bench as a coach, you're seeing all the other things he does so well without the puck, on the face-off situations, on the power play, on the penalty killing, against the other team's top lines. You're putting him on the ice for those things, and then he still can produce. It shows where he's at as a player. He continues to get better. His commitment to self-improvement has been outstanding. His team-first mentality has been outstanding. He's been so reliable defensively. For an 18-year-old kid to have that maturity and that rapid growth of development in such a short time has been really fun to watch.
And we talked about the development of your team. 2 games at Michigan State where you withstood a surge late and prevailed Friday, and then on Saturday as well, after you'd taken the lead, they get a goal with an extra attacker and you find a way in overtime.
It was outstanding. In parts of the game on Saturday, they tilted the ice our way. Parts of the game Saturday, we tilted it their way. The most important thing for us as a group, I don't think we ever lost confidence that we're in trouble in that game at any point. When we were down going in the third period, it's been a long, long time since our team and our program has come back from being down after two and come back to win the game. But I had no doubt with the mood in the room and with the way we started that third period that we were going to find a way to win that game. So there's lots of things that you could critique and say, oh, this Michigan State team's only won so many games and they had this many chances. Our goalie was great when he needed to be. Our team battled like crazy to get the lead. And then once again, when we got knocked down a little bit, when they scored late, it didn't bother us in overtime. We went out and made some great plays on the way up the ice to get the opportunity in the offensive zone. And what a play behind the net from Seamus on a bouncing puck. And how about Linhart, who played so many minutes both of those games again. We went down to 5D again for both those games. So his minutes were way more energy. He spent way more energy and everything on the ice to keep the games in control. And for him to have the energy to jump up and be in position to score that goal was really outstanding. So our guys, it's a great weekend for us. Got a new challenge coming up this weekend, but again, let's be proud of what they did, against Michigan State and get ready for Penn State.
Yeah. Badgers are 15-8-1, tied for first in the Big Ten at 8-2. Yeah, it had been 50 games since Wisconsin last rallied from a deficit after 2 periods to win. The last time they did so was in the championship game of the Big Ten tournament back in 2014 against Ohio State. We'll look ahead to Penn State and more coming up here in just a moment.
This is Lexi Rush. She's 10, and she's amazing. You see, Lexi was born deaf and couldn't hear anything. That was until her doctor in Appleton referred her to the pediatric specialists at UW Health in Madison. Now, 2 operations later, Lexi can hear everything. Powerful minds, compassionate care, amazing results. UW Health. Remarkable.
Mossberg had it, lost it, taken away by Wisconsin's Malone. Looking, nice pass. Here's Johnson. Backhand. Oh, good save made by Letterman. Where's the puck? Back behind the net. Malone. Here's Linhart. He scores! Badgers win in overtime and get the series sweep. They remain in first place in the Big Ten.
I think it got in deep somehow. Someone put it on net. Everyone crashed to the net, including me. And then Seamus ended up coming around the net. A little bit of a flurry pass, but I somehow got a stick on it and it went in. I think that's my first overtime goal ever, so I'm pretty proud of it.
Yeah, Jake was pretty funny after the game on Saturday. He said the last time he had an overtime winner, he thought he was 6 or 7 years old and made the news. And I said, well, you made the news tonight, definitely. So, yeah, he's a gifted young man that I think is going to get a chance in the National Hockey League. But you had some defensemen that logged a lot of minutes, and for whatever reason, we've seen this now, and it's been every game against Michigan State where you lose a guy to injury or ejection, and you've had to rotate, and they find a way to get it done. So you tip your cap to the Linharts and the Tischkes and the McGuires and the Greenways if it has to be, or Davisons or Patty Sexton, and we're going to see Jake Buns back in the lineup here on Friday night.
Yeah, and that's been something that's really been beneficial to our team. As taxing as it is during that game, especially when it happens on a Friday night and you got to come back and play again on Saturday. Mixing combinations and putting guys on the ice in different situations helps you grow as an individual and helps you grow as a team. So I think that part's been beneficial. So when it does happen, there's not panic. Okay, who's playing with who? How are we going to get through this thing? Everyone knows, hey, we've done it before. We know how to get through this. And to their credit, as a group, they've been outstanding. So hopefully it doesn't happen that often down the stretch. But if it does, we'll be ready for it.
Yep, definitely so. Penn State is the highest scoring team in the country, although it stumbled of late, having lost 4 in a row. But they get off the bus and shoot the puck, don't they?
They do. They get it up. That's how their offense is created. They're as aggressive as a shooting team as there is in the nation. It's a great way to play hockey. It's an effective way because when puck's delivered to your net, it's easier for the forecheckers to recover loose pucks that go either side. So it's harder for the defensemen to go back on pucks. So that's a strength that they have. That's something that we'll have to be aware of and handle well in this series. They're a hard-working team. They come at you in waves and waves and waves. Really, all their lines are built similar on how they play. And I think it's important for us to respect that, but also important for us to understand that they're probably looking at our team, seeing what we got. And it's hard, and sometimes in series when you haven't played a team, you kind of want to see how it's going to go. We're starting to realize it doesn't really matter how the other team plays. If we can get out and establish our game on how we play, we'll be real effective doing it that way, and that's what we'll try to do starting Friday night.
Yeah, and you and I spoke about this earlier too. I know fans are excited. They see the record. They see Wisconsin at the top of the Big Ten standings. It would be great to win a league championship, win a national championship, but if you start thinking about that now, that does you no good now, does it?
No, it really doesn't. We've had the focus all year. Let's accelerate our growth faster than other teams. And if we can do that, we got enough talent in here to have a real successful year. We've done it. We've focused each and every week on the challenges ahead. We've tried to grow as a team each and every week in different areas. We can go through it during the year, and you can see different segments on those areas that we've improved on. Right now, we've got our goaltenders playing really well in the rotation. Our defensive group has played very, very solid in front of them. There's still areas for improvement. Our special teams, especially our power plays, got to get rolling and playing a little bit better for us and scoring some more big goals for us. But I think the message has been all year, let's get better. Let's see how good we can be, but let's focus on the day's activity. On an area, we'll focus on one or two areas, and let's put our time and energy into that. And if we can do that and keep those small goals in place, the big picture takes care of itself. The fans, you mentioned fans. I like fans.
Yes,
I like
you
when
do.
that building's,
Yes, you do.
building's jumping in the energy, and that's what college hockey is. Our energy on the ice and getting ready for a weekend, is the big part of it is running out on the ice on Friday night and looking around and seeing the Kohl Center and the band going and everything else, and that's what we want. We want people to be excited about our product, and our team has been fun to watch. We score a lot of nice goals. We get goalies that make great saves. It's been a fun year for us, and we just want to keep building up.
Yeah, thanks for your time.
Thank you,
Appreciate
Brian.
it. That's Tony Granato, Badgers head coach. Love to see you at the rink this weekend. Wisconsin and Penn State, both games start at 7 o'clock. Check your local listings for television coverage, but just come to the rink. And also, there will be a special tribute for Coach Jeff Sauer during the game on Friday and on Saturday. You can also listen on the Badger Sports Network if you're out of town and watching wherever you may be watching this right now. For Tony Granato, I'm Brian Posick. Thanks for watching the Badger Hockey Digest.